Hello, my dear students. Let us start our today's class with the question which I have given for your classwork. Now, this type of question, how to write the answer? Let us start with the question number 1, which I have given for you. Now, the one assertion and one reason was given, and the assertion was displacement is the shortest distance from one point to another. And reason was given, displacement can never be greater than distance traveled. Now, how to write the answer for this question? See, 4 options are given here, A, B, C, D. And you have to take the decision whether the assertion is correct and the reason is also correct and it is a correct explanation of assertion, or assertion is correct, reason is also correct, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. And for option C, assertion is true, but the reason is not false, it's not true. And if the statement of the assertion is false, but reason is correct one. Now see, for our question, assertion is displacement is the shortest distance from one point to another point. So it is a correct assertion. We know displacement is the shortest distance between initial and final point. And what is the reason given here? Displacement can never be greater than distance traveled. So this statement is also true, means displacement can never be greater than distance traveled. But it is not the correct explanation of the given assertion. So our answer will be, you have to write only option B, that is answer will be B. And if you want, you can write the option for B, that is the assertion and the reason are correct, but the reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion. But you no need to write that which one is the correct reason for the given assertion. That one you no need to write. Just you have to write it is not correct explanation of the given assertion. Clear? Next, option B, question number 2 was, assertion was given, uniform circular motion is also called accelerated motion. Uniform circular motion is also called accelerated motion. Yes, it is true, we know. And reason was given, direction of motion changes at every point. So velocity is not constant. And see here, the reason is correct explanation of the given assertion. So for question number 2, answer you have to write option A. And if you want, you can write the explanation for option A, why you are choosing option A. That is, both the assertion and the reason are correct, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. Okay. Now let us discuss our homework which I have given from your NCERT exercise. First question was question number 7 from page number 113. And it was, a ball is gently dropped from a height of 20 meters. If its velocity increases uniformly at the rate of 10 meters per second square, with what velocity will it strike the ground? After what time will it strike the ground? So, first question, with what velocity will it strike the ground? So for this we can given informations are, height of the ball is h equals to 20 meter, and it's falling with uniform acceleration, that is 10 meter per second square. And see here, it is initially it was at rest. So we can consider the initial velocity u is 0, and we have to derive the final velocity, that is v. Now here we can use the third equation of motion, that is v square equals to u square plus 2s. So just substitute the value of A and S, or you can say it H. What is S? That is H only. So V square will be 400, and so V will be 20 meter only. Now for the next part, after what time will it strike the ground? See, for this calculation, the given informations are initial velocity u equals to 0, final velocity v equals to 20 meter per second, which one we just have derived, and height of the ball is h equals to 20 meter, and our target is to derive time taken to strike the ground. Now here we will use our first equation of motion, that is v equals to u plus at. Now here substitute v equals to 20 meter per second. Acceleration a is also 20 meter per second square. And time we have to derive. Just substitute, and what we will get? Time t equals to 1 second. So here we will not use the height of the object that we have used to derive the first calculation for v. Is it clear? Now next, question number 9. State which of the following situations are possible and give an example for each of these. And for question number A, an object with a constant acceleration but with zero velocity. What will be the answer? When an object is thrown upwards, it comes to a momentary rest at the highest point. All you know, if you throw any stone upward for a fraction of second at maximum height, it will come to at rest. At that moment, see, the velocity is 0, but still at that moment acceleration, that is due to gravity, gravitational acceleration will be act on it continuously and it will be downward. So you can write, thus velocity is 0, but acceleration due to gravitational pull of the earth still acts upon it. Okay. And option B, an object moving in a certain direction with an acceleration in the perpendicular direction. And the answer will be, in uniform circular motion, the speed remains constant, but there is varying velocity as it changes its direction. So there always be acceleration which is given by centripetal force. Clear? And next question number 10. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit of radius 42250 km. Calculates its speed if it takes 24 hours to revolve around the earth. See, for this circular motion, the total distance traveled here will be the circumference of the circle, and radius we know. What will be the circumference? We know 2 pi r. So speed will be circumference by time taken, and time is here 24 hours. So circumference, just substitute the value of pi, that is 3.14, substitute the value of the radius of the circular orbit. Okay, so it is 42250, substitute the value, and what we will get? The speed of the satellite will be 11055.4 km per hour. Now if you want to transfer it into meter per second in SI unit, you can multiply it by 5 by 18, and then the speed of the satellite will be 3.07 meter per second. Okay. Today I will discuss question and answers from your NCERT books. But I will not discuss all the questions, as some already we have discussed and some numericals we already have solved, which are very close to the numericals given in your NCERT book. And I have planned to finish the chapter today, and in next class we will start our new chapter, that is Force and Laws of Motion, that is chapter 9. And also next week I will conduct a short class test on motion, maybe on Wednesday or Friday. Date I will announce later. So you just start your preparation for the coming test. Now let us discuss first from page number 100, question number 3. Which of the following is true for displacement? Option A, it cannot be 0, and option B, its magnitude is greater than the distance traveled by the object. So let us discuss first option A. Displacement cannot be 0. What do you think? Is it true? See, displacement of an object can be 0 if the object return back to starting point. So it cannot be 0. It's a wrong option. It's a wrong statement. Actually, it can be 0. So how to write the answer? Displacement of an object can be 0 if the object return back to starting point. Thus, the statement is incorrect. And let us discuss option B. Displacement magnitude is greater than the distance traveled by the object. It's never be. Displacement of an object can never be greater than the distance. Thus, this statement is also false. Clear? Now, next question from page number 102, question number 3. What does the odometer of an automobile measure? And the answer will be, the odometer of an automobile measures the distance covered by it. Now next question number 1 from page number 103. When will you say a body is in option 1 uniform acceleration, option 2 non-uniform acceleration? Now answer for option 1. When the velocity of the body changes by equal amounts in equal intervals of time in the same direction, then it is said to have uniform acceleration. And next option 2, when the velocity of the body changes by unequal amounts in equal intervals of time, then it is said to have non-uniform acceleration. Next question number 1 from page number 109. A bus starting from rest moves with a uniform acceleration of 0.1 meter per second square for 2 minutes. Find the speed acquired and the distance traveled. See here, what are the given informations? Acceleration is 0.1 meter per second square. Time taken t equals to 2 minutes, that is 120 seconds. And our target is to derive the velocity, final velocity and distance traveled. Here initial velocity u is also 0. So using first equation of motion, v equals to u plus at. So just substitute the value of a and t. What we will get? The final velocity v equals to 12 meter per second. Now our next target is to derive the distance traveled during this time. Here you can use the second equation of motion, that is s equals to ut plus half of at square, or the third equation of motion. But here I am using the third equation of motion, that is v square equals to u square plus 2as. Just substitute the value of v and a. What we will get? S, that is distance traveled, is equals to 720 meter. So this is the end of our today's class and also for this chapter, that is motion. So today we have finished the chapter. Next class we will start our next chapter, that is chapter 9, force and laws of motion. In the meantime, you just take preparation for your upcoming test. Thank you for today.